As Halloween approaches, media clowns are out in full costume of hypocritical outrage, accusing everyone else of ginning up anger. How dare you be so coarse, they cry. My response, cram it, you jerks. Let's rewind 2 months. The Kavanaugh hearings, our modern witch trial, where we watched a man get destroyed before his family, enabled by a salivating, hateful media, blindly embracing unverified slime packaged by a well-oiled machine. The accusations were gross. Nothing close has ever come from the other side. As women in costume suggested a future where Kavanaugh would enslave and brutalize women. Left-wing nuts crashed the hearings. Outside, they hounded Republicans, egged on by Democrats. And those defending due process were branded abuse enablers. An entire party tried to pit gender against gender. Remember?
It's the men in this country, and I just want to say to the men in this country, just shut up and step up.
What would you call that rhetoric? Divisive? Heated? So now, months later, we find that NBC might have sat on the info that would have discredited claims of that litigating loon, Michael Avenatti. Apparently, NBC had the info for weeks about a witness Avenatti gave to them, who, instead of backing Julie Swetnick's allegations, actually denied them. She also accused Avenatti of twisting her words. Surprise. Yet this news went nowhere, allowing the attacks on the Kavanaughs to flourish, or what Pelosi liked to call collateral damage. And now, a day before Halloween, the same blind, self-obsessed media who aided one of the ugliest spectacles in recent history are knocking at your door, demanding soul-searching from you and me. They pray you don't remember, but we do. Sorry, no candy for you kids. Get off our porch. Jesse, this story is interesting, and it's not getting a lot of play, that NBC withheld evidence that would have debunked this mysterious witness. Just kind of went away.
Yeah, I know they don't want to talk about it because they're guilty of collusion with the Democratic Party. Remember what happened with the Access Hollywood tape. They had Trump on camera for 10 years saying what he said and dropped it 3 weeks before the general election. Very suspicious timing. They also spiked the Ronan Farrow expose on Harvey Weinstein because the parent company had a business relationship with Weinstein's studio. And also, how about the Cory Booker story? You know, Cory Booker was credibly accused of forcing allegedly someone to perform oral sex on him in a bathroom just recently. And the alleged victim went to Ronan Farrow, and Ronan Farrow didn't touch the story. So I'm wondering why not. Did it have anything to do with Cory Booker being a Democrat? And two, maybe we should use the Kavanaugh standard for Booker. I mean, guilty until proven innocent. And the media telling you to tone down the rhetoric, I mean, that's like an alcoholic telling you to stop drinking. It's like, no, you're the drunk. You're the drunk. You guys have been saying the president is a mentally ill, racist, Nazi, Russian traitor who needs to be frog-marched out of the White House, calling his daughter the C word and hoping his son gets raped. And now you're mad because he calls you fake news, is the enemy of the American people. You guys can dish it out, but you can't take it.
I think we got some new video of President Trump just arriving at the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center right here. I don't see him, but
I think that's
there are 4 police officers that are injured and being treated at the hospital, and then some additional people who were there.
All right, so let's go to this, Dana. I want to go back to this. NBC claims that this was no longer a story because by the time this information had come out, the confirmation hearing was over. So forget about it.
So I read the explanation. Kate Snow was the anchor and reporter that did the interview, and so you have to read the explanation like 3 or 4 times, and it still doesn't quite make sense why they wouldn't want to just kind of own up to it right away and say we had this, we didn't know. They did certainly jump on it. What's interesting is that how much it just backfired.
Yeah.
Not just NBC, but Bill Hemmer was talking about there's 5 key Senate races that we're going to watch. One of them is Indiana. I'm going to actually be there tomorrow. They said that the actual momentum for the Republican, the only time he pulled ahead in the election was after Kavanaugh.
Why do you think the Kavanaugh story had an effect, or because they saw the overreach of the Democrats on this?
The story had a definite effect in terms of energizing Republican voters. The base of the voters, you saw the spike in terms of their enthusiasm post-Kavanaugh, no question about it. The question is whether or not that enthusiasm has dissipated and whether people are still reacting. What we've seen, I think, just in the last week is a drop in the president's approval ratings, even before the shootings took place. So I think, in a sense, the question is how much do Republicans still lock into that moment as a driving force, a sense of grievance that would lead them. Let me just add, in terms of the NBC story, that Kate Snow, the reporter, stands by her reporting. And I must say, I thought when she interviewed Swetnick, it damaged Swetnick and it damaged Avenatti. So I know your perspective, Greg, but I'm just saying, hey, wait a second. If you were on the side of saying, hey, there's something new here, something that could be damaging to Kavanaugh, actually, it wasn't, because
the problem is
she
she's
said
not
he
being
didn't.
honest.
Hang on, let me just finish. She said he didn't spike the punch. She never saw anybody lining up outside a door to assault women. Yeah. I thought it was helpful to Kavanaugh.
But the problem is, Kate Snow's not being honest, and either is NBC. They spoke to the second woman at the end of September. The last text message exchange was October 5th, when this woman said that accused Avenatti of twisting her words. And still to this day, we have no corroborating witnesses or evidence supporting any of the claims from Christine Ford, Deborah Ramirez, or Julie Swetnick. And it's even more nefarious than that, because you look at the Washington Post, we don't even know if Emma Brown, the reporter there, ever had Ford's notes. She wrote in her column, or her story rather, that she received portions of them, but Christine Ford testified under oath that she wasn't sure she gave them the notes, or just a summary of it. And then you go to the New Yorker story. Deborah Ramirez herself said that she was very drunk that night. She was on the floor. She doesn't remember. Ronan Farrow, who's one of the authors, said that Democrats went out seeking Deborah Ramirez's story. Jane Meyer later would tell Elle that in the Me Too era, it is important to establish a pattern of behavior. That is why they aggressively pursued this story from Deborah Ramirez. The New York Times said that they interviewed several dozen people and couldn't find a single eyewitness to corroborate the story of Deborah Ramirez. So you have 3 stories without any evidence, no corroborating witnesses, yet the media was happy to run these stories to damage Brett Kavanaugh, and it is wrong.
Isn't that good news that they didn't find anything?
All right.